And we return. So the one thing I didn't like I did on this marathon, and I admit this because when I did this, it takes up a lot of MB to, the more lengthy it is, the bigger the file it is, movie file it is. So what I did was I cut things down to like 10, I don't know why I did it, like from like 10 minutes, 12 minutes to 18 minutes. Some things are much bigger than others, because I just thought, if I upload this for a DVD, that, I want it to be small, because with Lulu Publishing, the publishing company that, it's a print and press company, and they've made my books and my lecture DVDs, that, one of the last things I want to do is, have this thing be like a gigabyte in length, and be like a gigabyte in length, and basically its uploader crashes a lot, so you want to make it as simple as possible. So like for example, this clip right here is 10 minutes, so I have to kind of keep track of what I was doing. Last time I was commentating, I wasn't even paying attention. I didn't notice that probably what I'll do next time, because I really honestly don't think, when I started these clips I said about a DVD and all that stuff. I don't know. I think that it's just, I don't know, it's sounding silly now. So I might just keep this on Blip TV. I like the idea of doing an Action 52 movie DVD. I actually like that idea much more, because Action 52 to me, I'll definitely tell you this, it is the action #1 of video games. But you have to understand video games is different than comic books. In comic books, the most popular comic book, first appearance of the most popular comic book character, is, it warrants a big price. It does. And, for example, the worst comic book character in the worst comic book series warrants almost nothing. I mean, you can go down to a local shop that keeps track. It actually tracks comics pretty good. It even keeps this shit in stock, and it's shit, and it's not really worth it. I mean, sadly, although I think maybe it's gone up in price by now, it's the old Chuck Norris comics. I actually got one of those. I found one of those like some years ago in a comic book shop, and yeah, they were having a hard time trying to keep them in stock. But the point is that with video games it's different. Like, I had this thing going in my head, and I really wanted to talk about it. What is considered rare and collectible? A lot of times, what's considered rare and collectible in video games is the opposite of comic books. It is not the popular character. It is literally some kind of game that, the companies didn't give a shit about. Like for example, the highest priced game is a complete version of Stadium Events. Stadium Events was, it's basically World Track and Meet under a different name. They must have decided, well, this name is too, it's just not really, it doesn't have any kind of like, it's not an exciting name, it doesn't really sell a product good enough. What is my problem jumping off that platform? That's the problem with Ninja Gaiden. Sometimes it just makes you retarded after a while, because you're getting overwhelmed by so many things, and those things are just respawning at such a fast rate that you just start jumping off platforms like a fucking retard. Let's see if I do it again. Nope. I have to take out Karnov here. Does anyone remember Karnov? Oh no, not these guys. What you're seeing on your screen now is nothing short of annoying. These guys basically fill the air with ninja shurikens. All these shooting stars are just filling the sky. And then you got this guy, and then you got, oh man, see that's the kind of stuff I was talking about earlier. So you just these guys are nightmarish. I mean, you gotta run. I mean, you have got to run because a lot of this stuff is not very avoidable. So you just gotta run like hell. So like I was saying, you know, with comic books, like I'll give you an example. Let's say if you have action number 1, then that's considered the highest landmark in comic books. Detective 27, Amazing Fantasy number 15. I mean, my local comic book shop is, you know, well, I used to go to it. I don't like the owner. They actually had Detective 27. And it made it in the news. But like I was saying again, somehow with video games, because of the availability of games, you know, like for example, you know, Super Mario Bros. 3 has been pretty much declared by the internet as the most important Nintendo game ever. That it is the best Nintendo game ever. I mean, you know, and oh god, these bats. This area right here is just killer. Oh my god, spawn rate. But you know, like for example, Super Mario, with a lot of the popular Nintendo games, is that they were produced in high numbers, and they can be found. I mean, you want a complete version of Super Mario Bros. Super Mario 3, you can find it. I mean, you can find it on eBay. If let's say you want a good copy, you can maybe pay what that game was in retail. I mean, maybe at the highest, maybe $50, but that's still nothing compared to, you know, like, you know, those really big titles like Stadium Events, the top NES games to collect, what are considered as holy grails, as they call them. Oh, by the way, you know, I might as well say this now. Like, everyone says, what is the holy grail? Where is the holy grail? Well, in my studies before I got into games and stuff like that, you know, why did I just do that? See, this is one of those things with this game, is this game kind of makes you retarded sometimes. You just get chased by so much on the screen that you just become retarded. Now, like I was saying about the Holy Grail, a lot of people wonder what the Holy Grail is. I actually found this out about maybe 3 years ago. And what it is, you know, if you're watching this, you're going to start laughing. It's a woman's vagina. The Holy Grail is a woman's vagina. And what you have to understand is, at one point in time, people didn't understand that when a woman has her period, that, you know, they thought that was something magical. They thought that was sacred, because normally if people bleed, it's because they have had a wound inflicted. You know, so they're dying. I mean, people just normally just don't bleed, and yet they bleed, but then nothing bad happens. So they called it moon blood, crimson blood. So, you know, when a woman had her period, that was considered like extremely sacred. And, you know, a woman's vagina, in like, for example, the highest orders of masonry, at least what they used to know, that actually is one of their secrets, is, you know, it's the lust for the vagina. that it was considered the Holy Grail. And you'll find a lot of, when you really try to go deep, and, well, I'm out of time right now. I'll continue this in the next video. But this is gonna get interesting. And that's the thing, is when I'm doing a marathon like this, I just run at the mouth. Just run at the mouth, anything that comes to mind, bam.